Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So here finally is my video for Marishiten Kai, and yes, sorry that it took me so long, but I've been selfish. I've been playing the regular Marishiten all this time, because I was very close to finishing the max luck, and I did do that, and I'll talk about that in a later video. But yeah, here's the Kai video so we can have a look at what's going on for the next time that the quest comes around. And gimmicks here are mines and blocks. We don't really need people with null block, but we definitely want people with Minesweeper. And then the higher the multiplier on the mine damage, the better. So that's why I kind of recommend these three characters here more than anyone else, almost anyone else. And the first character I'm using is Nomno, and this is the Valentine's version that I pulled last month. And yeah, I was kind of harsh on her artwork, but I think it works better for her ball art, so I'm okay with her now. But she is a bounce with a Minesweeper EL. She has that strong bump combo, but that's not really going to be a factor in this mission. And then she has a strike shot where she creates a warp where she first hits an enemy, and then moves around the screen really quickly, and then returns to that first place. And this can be helpful because positioning is pretty important for this quest. And then that pickup in speed can also help her get around and then take down little guys as she picks up mines. And then the first thing that we want to do in every stage is to get rid of the Vritola, that guy in the upper right. And he's quickly becoming my least favorite character in Monster Strike because his quest is very difficult, and then he appears in Eschatology, and he's very annoying in there, and then he's annoying in here as well, so. But yeah, once we take him down, then the drone will come out, and then the drone will spit out mines, and then the mines are the only way that we can really do damage to these pairs of little guys, or to the boss. So yeah, first things first, take down Vritola, and then take down the pairs of little guys with the mines, and then take down the boss with mines. Alright, to continue talking about my team, next I'm using Agnamut X, and she continues to just be really good, really versatile. She's another bounce with Minesweeper EL. She has a Blast Bump combo, which again doesn't really matter here. And then she has a strike shot where she moves around and then tosses up guys that she hits. This is not a great source of damage, unless you use it against Vritola. But it can kind of maybe help her improve her positioning. So if she were in bad positioning and you need to go through some guys, that could maybe help you there. And then my last character is my brand new Mana, who I pulled actually pretty much for this quest. She has another bounce with a Minesweeper EL. She has Barrier, which I think prevents the first 10,000 damage every stage. And it can also block attacks like attack down or defense down. Not a factor here, so it's just, you know, to prevent some damage to us. And then she has the Involute Sphere bump combo, which again, not a super big factor here. And then the Grand Command Strike Shot where she becomes a Pierce, which I feel is not super great. But, you know, it can do some damage on the boss here if you can, you know, go back and forth through the weak point while carrying some mines, or to improve her positioning, like I mentioned with Agnamut X. And then I did try some other characters here, like Harley, but I felt like the element disadvantage was too much. There's a lot of damage coming out in this mission, so I think having all fire characters is preferable. Okay, so here's the first mini-boss. So we'll take down the Vritola, that will summon the drone. And then we'll take down the little guys, and then we'll pick up those mines and then do damage to the boss. Unfortunately, we can only really do good damage in the boss's weak point. So not only do you have to hit the boss's weak point, which is often covered by blocks, you have to hit it with a mine. So that maybe means like 1 or 2 hits per turn. So yeah, it's a difficult quest, it's a long quest. And yeah, I've been reading the forums by JP players, and everybody hates this quest. But it's not so bad, I think every once in a while we should have a, very, very high level quest, just to, mix it up. And there's some strong elements of like Memento Mori in this quest, also Ragnarok, and yeah, those quests are also very unpopular among players, so I guess it makes sense why this would also be unpopular. If this were like a standard Impossible or Colossal, I think people would be even angrier. But it's a Kai quest, so once you get the bump combo that you like, you don't have to play it again, so that's kind of nice as well. One other thing that kind of makes players angry at this mission is that the number of mines that come out on every stage is actually pretty few. So yeah, here we can see there's only 3 mines, and then we have to take down 2 guys with those 3 mines. So you have to be kind of precise with your angles, and then that's also kind of a reason why this mission takes so much time, is because you have to kind of map out your path almost every shot that you do. This is a good idea to do, of course, in any quest, because if you think ahead, 3, 4, 5 bounces, that will really help you get better attacks every turn. But it's not necessary in most quests. And so to have that sort of way of thinking required for every single shot is another reason why this quest takes so long. Okay, first boss stage. Here is Vritala again. We can pinch in between that bottom Karma and Vritala and then take him out, so that's nice. And then mines come out. And then the angle that I like here, yeah, if we have mana here, we can sort of do like a triangle or like a diamond angle and then get all the 3 guys. Or if we started where like Nonno is now, we can do a real slight angle up. And then she'll pick up the mine, hit that bottom one, pick up 2 more mines, and then hit the 2 guys up there. So that's a way to get around that. This is one of the easier boss stages for sure. Partly because those blocks are far away from Marishiten, so they don't really hamper us too much. But if we take long enough on a quest, then Vritala will come out for a second time. And then if we take him down for a second time, then the blocks will go down. And then that usually opens up space to go after the boss. Alright, Vritala comes out again. And then here we have a choice. We can either go after Vritala, or we can continue to do damage to the boss. Just depends on your positioning, and then which would be easier to do. Okay, so I pretty much ignored Vritala, but we took him down anyway. And then the blocks would go down if we were still in that stage. Okay, boss stage 2. I would say this is the most difficult stage for me. And the reason for that is because we have 3 karmas down there, but there's only 2 mines that are very easy to get in order to take them down. So we either have to, pick up one of those mines on the side there, which are hard to get at, or we need to kind of start the turn already carrying a mine. And that will help you on every single turn of this mission to begin the turn with a mine from a previous turn. But one thing that you don't want to do, of course, is to have to pick up some mines in order to use them around later. That's 4 turns later. And yeah, as we can see, Marishiten has his countdown, and then these karmas, they also have their own countdowns. They're not one-hit KOs, but they do a lot of damage to us, so we have to, be working at a quick pace for pretty much the whole mission. So here with Nonno, I'm going to use her strike shot, mostly for the speed up, and then hopefully I can get around and get all the karmas. I did pick up all of the mines, but that last karma didn't get a mine, so he's still there, and then he will revive the other two guys. And there's his White Blast. About half of our life. But Vritula comes out again, we'll take him down, and then the blocks will go down. And that can help us get at the boss more easily. And there's the wind on top of everything else, as if this mission was not hard enough. But the wind will pull us towards Marishiten, and that will usually mess up our positioning to get rid of the little guys, so yeah, pretty tough mission. Okay, so Mana here is in decent position. Pick up one mine, hit a karma, and then get in that little alley down there, pick up the other two mines, and then take down the other karmas. So finally, we got through that zombie loop, and then we have 5 turns until the boss's ultimate attack. But actually, once we get rid of everybody, and then it's just us and the boss, it's not very difficult to you know, do damage to the boss and take him down before his attack. If you are not good at, you know, bouncing off walls and then hitting a weak point, then it would be a good idea to practice that. Okay, third boss stage. This one's not as difficult as the second, I would say. Again, we'll take down the Vritula if we can. Yeah, and as we saw there with the Involute Sphere, they didn't do a lot of damage to the Vritula even, so can't really rely on bump combos for this mission. Okay, there goes the Vritula. Drone comes out, drone spits out mines. And yes, looks like we have 3, maybe 4 mines in order to take down 4 guys. But actually we can take down the pairs, the Katamas and then the other guy on the bird. We can take them down in separate turns. So that's not as difficult. But it is possible actually to take down both pairs in the same turn. Without starting with any mines. That's kind of a difficult shot though. It's similar to the, I think it's the second Ragnarok boss stage where the 4 guys are at the bottom. Okay, and then it's just us and the boss. With the blocks up and without null block characters, we can't really get to the boss at this point. So I'm just going to kill some time until the second Vritula comes out. Take down that Vritula, and then the blocks will go down, and then we can get to the boss. And yes, Agnamut X will have 2 mines for her next turn, so that's nice. Okay, so here let's go after Vritula. Not quite, oh well. Okay. Alright, Vritula goes down, and it's us and the boss. 3 turns until the boss's ultimate attack. But again, with the blocks down, we can get at him fairly easily. Okay, great. That was a lucky bounce. And then, yeah, all of these characters have the Minesweeper EL. So they get the 3 times their attack damage when they're carrying a mine. So that's much better than characters with just, you know, the regular Minesweeper. So yeah, I would recommend making a team of any combination of these characters. You could even use 3 of Agnamut X or 3 of Nonno. Alright, and here's the last stage of the boss sequence. And this one also I don't feel is as difficult as the second. It can be difficult to get the pairs of guys, because there's only the 2 mines for each pair. But yeah, as we saw with the mana angle that we did last time, if you do like a shallow angle up and down, slightly to the left or right, then you can pick up those mines, and then get rid of the guys. Same thing with Agamut X here, just real shallow angle, and then hit each of the guys with a mine. Okay, so again, just us and the boss, and then we will, you know, pick up the mines, do damage to the boss. Here it is easier to do damage to the boss, like we did with mana just now, because sometimes the weak point will appear where the block is not, either to the left or the right. But here, for example, we can't really get at the boss's weak point, so we would have to wait for Vritula to come out again. Okay, weak point on the left. Let's see if we can hit that with Nonno. Not quite. Oh, okay, we got it there. Okay, Vritula comes out. Again, we can make that choice if we want to go after him or just keep going after the boss. We'll use Agamut X's Strike Shot. That will help us get rid of the Vritula, do a little bit of damage to the boss. Vritula goes down, blocks go down, and we should be able to take down the boss here. Here I'm going to use a Mana Strike Shot to turn everybody into a Pierce, and then I'll aim at some of my other mana who has mines. We'll get attacks in the weak point, and then we'll take down the boss. Alright, so that was Marishiten Kai. Maybe the most difficult Kai so far. I think he's got some good competition with Izanami Kai, but yeah, pretty tough. And that was a 17-minute clear, so not for the faint of heart, I think. Okay, and then let's move ahead and let's look at the bump combos on Marishiten, and then see which of the subs is best for him. And yeah, there's been some funny reactions, you know, from the community to this version of Marishiten. They're saying like he's very tan, like a beach bum or something, which is fine with me. Okay, and then let's see which version I got. I got the Horizon Laser. Alrighty, and then let's go to the mission thing. Alright. And then here are all of the sub-bump combos available to Marishiten Kai. And then, yeah, his base bump combo is the Cross Laser, which is pretty strong. It's a 12,000 damage Cross Laser. That's the same as Raphael Transcendent, which is pretty solid. Not flashy, but solid. Of course, in Laser Barrier missions, this will be less effective. And then most of his sub-bump combos here are also lasers. So they won't really increase his usability in different quests. But the non-laser ones are the Energy Circle S and the Dimensional Blades. I would not recommend either of these. The Energy Circle S is already pretty weak, and then it's also a sub-bump combo, so it's even weaker. Maybe it would look cool, but that's about it. The Dimensional Blades are pretty popular as a sub-bump combo, but I don't like them. They're too difficult to aim, and they do too little damage to really make them worth it. I guess you could use it against scorpions, but that's not a good reason, I think, to get that. So I would look at the other three. The first one there is the Cross Laser S, and this is the most basic one. This is a viable option, just to increase the damage a little bit of the main bump combo. And then the Horizon Laser M, I like this one a lot, actually. It is like a 6,000, almost 7,000 damage Horizon Laser, and then you add that to the 12 of these the base, and it's like a 50% increase to that Horizon version of Marishiten's Cross Laser. That's really, really good. That's like 2 S++ Sidekick Ableberries, so that's pretty crazy if you think about it that way. However, the twin vertical laser I'm going to say is better for most situations. The individual lasers of the twin laser actually do less damage than the Horizon Laser. It's like 5,000, but you do get 2 of them, And so if you have a big target like a boss, you could hit that boss with both of those lasers, and that would be, even more damage. Another thing to consider is that, which quests Marishiten is good for. And then two that I can think of, he is good for Doom, and then Yamato Takeru Zero. In those two quests, the bosses have horizon lasers, so you don't want to position yourself to the left or the right. So having the horizon laser sub-bump combo on Marishiten, if you use him for those quests, would not be a good thing. So that's why I would recommend the twin vertical laser. But if you do not use Marishiten in those quests, and I think actually few people do, and if you got the horizon laser sub-bump combo and you never wanted to play the mission again, I think you could be pretty happy with that horizon laser. Of course, I think the twin vertical is going to be better for most situations, but if it's just too hard for you to get, then I wouldn't worry about it. And actually, I got the horizon laser bump combo here. I fused my max luck Marishiten into there, because I think it's still a really good option. And then until I get the twin vertical, I'll use the horizon laser version, and that will be just fine, I think. One thing I was disappointed about by this selection of sub-bump combos is that there was no homing shot or like spread shot, and that would have been really good for Izanagi Zero, so you could set off the counterattacks of the magicians. But yeah, none of these sub-bump combos are really a good option to do that there, so oh well. Okay, good luck with that mission, and yeah, hopefully you get the sub-bump combo that you like. I can recommend the horizon laser, but I strongly recommend the twin vertical. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.